Frank Gore is my favorite 49er. I know some 49er fans are going to think I'm crazy. Why is Frank Gore my favorite? Why isn't it George Kittle, some Gen Z fans might be asking? Why isn't it Brock Purdy, a guy who I talk up and listen, if he keeps playing at the rate he's playing, don't worry, I'll be making a video in about 10 years about how much I love this man. Why is it not Alex Smith, a guy who I really, again, I trashed on Alex Smith early in his career, but after this game, which I was at this playoff game, really grew to love Alex Smith. And of course, we got Jerry, the GOAT, the greatest wide receiver of all time, who I do have a great affinity for. Jerry Rice is an unbelievable. He is the greatest wide receiver of all time, and it's not for debate. And then, of course, we also got Joe Cool. Can't ignore Joe Montana. Of course, I was not alive when Joe Montana was the quarterback for the 49ers. On the defensive side of the ball, we got the missile, Fred Warner. And then we got P. Will, probably my favorite defensive player of all time. And then you got a guy like Richard Sherman, who I only liked when he played for the Niners. And then, there's Jake Moody. And we all know how I feel about that guy. He sucks. But bar none, unquestioned, Frank Gore is my favorite 49er. He made the bad years so much more palatable. He never gave up on a play. He was always hard charging, hard running. He wasn't the fastest guy, wasn't the strongest guy, but goddamn was he tough. He was a tough SOB who refused to go down, who tore both of his ACLs coming out of college. This guy was considered to be a top 5 guy for the U, an absolute unit, come out of Miami, who lost some of that burst and still had a first ballot Hall of Fame career. I said it, first ballot Hall of Famer Frank Gore. For a lot of 49ers, after they leave, I don't root for them. I don't care about them. They're not on my team anymore, and, I wish them the best in terms of their personal careers. But Frank Gore, I always root for. When he hit the 16,000-yard mark, I can't lie, I teared up. I know now that everyone just wants, we need to have periods of excellence. Dude, you know what you got when you got Frank Gore? You got consistency. He ran for 1,000 yards in his age 33 season. No one will ever reach the pinnacle of Frank Gore again in terms of career rushing stats. Look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, if he's lucky, will get in the top 10 when all is said and done. Yeah, he was not a big touchdown guy, only 81 touchdowns, good for 20th all-time for running backs. But do you all understand how bad the 49ers were for most of my childhood? The 49ers made the Browns look like a competent organization. While the quarterbacks constantly shifted, he was the stalwart. He was always out there. He was the lunch pail guy. It's so funny to me that we cut this guy to sign Carlos Hyde, or to draft Carlos Hyde and make him the starter, and Carlos Hyde was out of the league way before Frank Gore hung up his cleats. When Frank finally gets his gold jacket, I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to cry. It's going to happen. I will do it on this channel. And it will be because this man gave, even in those dark years, he gave us so much joy. And yeah, I love Frank the Tank, my favorite 49er. Who is your favorite 49er? Let me know in the comments. And if you're not a 49er fan, who's your favorite player of all time from your team? Let me know.